Get started here today. Is that super distracting? Um, all right, let's go ahead. We're going to lay back, relax. Let's close our eyes and imagine ourselves on a mountaintop. We can see the sunrise from here. We see those beautiful colors of pinks and yellows and oranges. We see the light, the life, the positive energy that comes from that sunrise every day. And with every breath, let's bring in the power of that sunrise. And with every exhale, let go of anything you don't need, any worry, any fear, anything you've been holding on to. Let it go. Let's imagine that the beautiful colors of the sunrise and that positive energy is flowing into our bodies with every inhale, filling us up, letting us feel rejuvenated and energized. And with every exhale, let go of the darkness, the pain or fear. Let's give ourselves a few minutes here to reset, to fill ourselves up, and to feel perfectly content. And with our next breath, gently beginning to wiggle our fingers and toes, rolling around our wrists and our ankles, feeling that energy, feeling rejuvenated, refreshed. Good, and let's reach those hands way up overhead. Go ahead and point your toes and take a couple of breaths here in our full body stretch. Good, and relax, and let's bring those hands to our knees and gently rock from side to side, allowing ourselves a little spinal massage. And go ahead and let's gently take our hands behind one knee and pulse our toes. Good, up and down so that we feel that stretch on either side of our calf. Good, and relax, and let's take the other hands, or take those hands behind our opposite knee and point and flex those toes as well, feeling that stretch in the front and back side of our calf. Good, and relax, and let's go ahead. We'll take our hips to the right, dropping those knees to the left. Feeling a little twist here in our core. Taking 2 deep breaths. Good, and relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Taking those hips to the left, dropping our knees to the right. Good, and taking 2 deep breaths. Good, and relax, gently rolling back onto our back, bringing our knees up to our chest, and you can gently roll from side to side, allowing yourselves a little spinal massage here. And when you're ready, gently rolling over onto one side, allowing ourselves to feel comforted in the fetal position. Good, and gently pushing up into a seated pose. Good, and coming into a couple of shoulder rolls here, getting ourselves loosened up. Good, and let's warm those hands. It's chilly today. Good, and relax, and let's reach one hand way up and over. Good, and switch sides, nice and easy here. Good, if that hurts your shoulder, you can come in front. Good, last one on either side. Good, and just tip our head this time, bringing our ear to our shoulder. If it feels good to roll that chin in front, go ahead and do so. Good, and go ahead and gently relax. We'll bring our other ear to our shoulder. Feel that stretch in our neck. Same thing, if it feels good to roll, go ahead. Good, and relax. And let's go ahead and just bring our chin down in front, stretching the back side of our neck. Good, and gently coming up, let's keep our fingers forward and we'll slide our hands back, lifting up our chin, feeling that stretch across the front sides of our shoulders. Good, and gently coming forward, let's come into a little twist here. Good, and switch sides. Good, and relax. And let's take our legs out in front of us. We're just gonna push out through our legs and reach straight up. Good, bring your hands together. Take them wide and then push down and come up. Good. As you push out, exhale. And as you come down, inhale. Good, you can go at your own pace here, whatever feels comfortable for you. Good, last one. and relax. Just reach down toward those ankles this time. Relaxing our upper body over our lower body. Good, and gently relax, lifting those toes up toward you, feeling the stretch more in your calves. Good, and pointing those toes down toward the floor. Feel it more in your shins. If you start to get a foot cramp, you can kind of tip your feet down, but keep your toes up. I get a foot cramp immediately. You do. Only in the right foot. Good, and relax. Let's go ahead. We're going to bring our legs in and walk those hands forward. Just relaxing our head. Feeling that stretch probably more in one hip than the other. Good, and walking those hands a little bit over to the right. Good, and a little bit over to the left. Good, and relax. Let's go ahead and come up, and we'll switch whichever leg's in front. Good, walk those hands out again, feeling that stretch more in the opposite hip this time. Just relaxing our head. Good, and walking those hands a little bit to the left. Good, and a little bit to the right. Good, and gently come up. Let's go ahead, we're going to transfer around here into our all fours pose. With nice wide fingers, let's go ahead and drop our belly down. Inhale, lift up our chin. As we exhale, roll that spine up into the sky and drop our chin down. Good, nice and gentle here, moving our spine. Good, and moving a little bit more with every breath. Good, and relax. And let's go ahead and shift our hips one direction. You can sort of roll them around a little bit in front and a little behind. When you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Shift those hips the opposite way. Good, go ahead and relax. And let's walk those hands forward so that we come into a modified plank pose. We'll keep our elbows in toward our ribs here and gently lower down. Inhale into our cobra pose. And then exhale as you push back into that child's pose. Very good. Inhale as you roll forward into our modified plank. Exhale, crocodile down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child. We'll do this just a couple of times here. Get our bodies loosened up. You can go however slow or fast you want to. Good, last one. Let's meet up in our child's pose. Couple of options here. You can just stand right up, just like that, or you can curl your toes under, lift those hips and knees into our downward facing dog, letting your heels be pulled into the mat, and relaxing the back sides of our legs through our hips and into our back. Just letting your head hang completely neutral. And go ahead and gently bend one knee and then the other. Good, and gently walking those hands and feet up into our forward fold. Good, and just relaxing our upper body over the lower body, keeping your knees slightly bent. If it feels good, you can begin to sway. If you feel like your body's pulling you into a particular rhythm, go ahead and give in to that pull. Good, and let's gently cross our hands above our head and just let our head hang here. And we can gently shake our head no. In yoga, we say no to judgment, expectation, no to pain and worry, no to negativity or being closed off, or being stuck. And go ahead and nod your head yes. In yoga we say yes to being positive, to being the light, being open, understanding, being ever changing and dynamic, to listening to our bodies and doing what we need to do to stay well. And let those hands fall down. We'll sink our hips back and gently walk our hands up our bodies. Good. And a couple of shoulder rolls. Good, and let's go ahead and inhale, reach those hands nice and wide. Palms come together and sink into a gentle chair pose. Good, inhale up, exhale on our way down. You can go however low you feel comfortable. Okay, keeping our knees and ankles the same distance apart. Very good. Good, last one here. Let's pause in our downward position, wiggle those toes. Put my glasses back on so I can see. Good, and let's lift up onto our heels. Good, and relax right back down to that forward fold. We can bend one knee and then the other. Good, really feeling that stretch in those glutes. Good, and gently walking those hands up nice and slow here. Good, and let's go ahead, we'll step up to the top of our mats here. Start in our mountain pose, take a deep breath in, reach those hands all the way up. Take our left foot back, good, into our L-shaped feet. Very good, just holding here in our warrior two. Good, feeling strong and sturdy. And let's bring our left arm behind us, reaching straight up with our right. Go ahead and gaze up at those fingers. This is our reverse warrior. And exhale that right elbow down to the knee, taking our left hand straight up for side angle. Good, relaxing those hands back to our warrior two. Good, and bringing our hands together with a big step up. Good, and reaching those hands all the way up. This time our right foot comes back. Good, into that warrior two. Our hips are underneath of us. Our shoulders are rolled down. Good, and dropping our right arm behind us, reaching our left hand up. Good, reverse warrior. And dropping that left elbow down to the knee, reaching the right hand up, side angle. Good, and gently cartwheeling those hands back to our warrior two. Good, let's straighten that front leg just a little bit here. And we're gonna tip down. Very good. Elbow can stay on the knee if we prefer, or on the floor, or the shin, whatever's most comfortable. Very good. Good, let's bring both hands down to our mat. Keep those knees bent and walk around, bringing your foot forward, and so that our, perfect. So we're in our standing straddle stretch. Very good. Just relaxing here. If it feels good to shift that weight from side to side, go ahead and do so, making sure both knees are slightly bent. Good, and let's go ahead. We're gonna tip the right toe backward here or forward. Good, so that we're back into that first warrior two pose. Perfect, sorry, I said that really confusing for you. And we're gonna straighten that front leg and come right down back into our triangle pose. So on the opposite side, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry, guys. Good, Good, and gently bending that front leg, coming back to that warrior two. Bring those hands to our hips, and we'll heel toe together. Very good. You guys are awesome. Let's take a short step back. We'll shift those hips open so that we feel that stretch in our hip flexor here. Go ahead and open up those hands. Take a couple of deep breaths. Good, just relaxing those hips. Feeling centered, feeling peaceful. Good, and let's go ahead and reach both hands up. Good, and tip over to one side. Good, or the other. You can hold whatever side feels better here. Good, and bring those hands to your hips. Shift those hips back and bend right down into our triangle pose here. Feeling the stretch in the back side of that leg, making sure both knees are slightly bent. And gently bring both knees a little bit more bent, walking those hands up, coming right back to that warrior one pose. Take a deep breath here. Good, and palms come together and down, big step up, and we'll switch feet. Good, shift those hips forward so that you feel that stretch in the hip flexor. Open up your hands. Good. This time, taking a minute here to feel grateful. Good, and let's sweep those hands all the way out. Good, and tip those hands over to one side. You can kind of try both. Do whatever feels better. Good, and relax. Bring those hands down to our hips. Shift those hips back and just bend right down. Feeling that stretch in the back side of our front leg, making sure both legs are slightly bent, and giving yourself plenty of time here. And gently bending our front knee, walking those hands up. Good, and coming straight back up into our mountain pose. Good, let's go ahead and we're gonna take our legs a little bit wide here. Reach those hands up. Good, make sure those toes are pointing outward just a little bit. Good, and bend down. Go ahead and sweep all the way to the floor. Inhale up and exhale on our way down. Good, nice and gentle. If that makes you dizzy, you can keep your head nice and high. Or if you're looking to kick it up a notch a little bit, go ahead and squat nice and low. You can even hold that low squat. Good. You choose how hard you want to work today. Good, 2 more. Good, and relax those hands right onto our knees, slight bend in the knee. We're gonna bring one shoulder forward and sort of twist to the side. Good, and relax, and we'll bring the opposite shoulder forward, twist to the side. Good, and relax, and come all the way up, and let's heel toe together. Excellent. Let's go ahead and find center here, both back to front and side to side. Open up those hands. When you're ready, go and shift that weight onto the left foot. Good, if you're opposite, don't worry. Go ahead and bring that knee up in front, open to the side, down to the belly of that calf muscle. Reach your hands up nice and high here, big tree branches. Good, feeling strong and centered, nice tight core. Good, and gently relax. Good balancing, must be a good day for you. Good, stretch out those toes. Good, and let's shift our weight to our right foot. Bring the opposite knee up in front. Open to the side, down to the belly of that calf muscle. Perfect. It's always easier for me on my right foot than my left. But it's not necessarily the right, like the same side that you are dominant. You know what I mean? Like, I'm right-handed, it's easier on my right foot, but it's not always like that.
Sun's coming.
I got really bright. Good, relax. Let's shift those toes. Good, and relax. Let's go ahead, one more deep breath. Reach those hands up. Take our hands nice and wide. Here, come right down to that forward fold. Good, go ahead and bend both knees and gently lower down into our all fours pose here. Very good, and let's go ahead and we're gonna take our right foot out, squeezing those glutes here and into the elbow, nice and gentle. Good, if you can't quite reach your elbow, that's all right. Good, and relax. Let's take that right foot to the left side of our mat and turn over our left shoulder to gaze at those toes, feeling that stretch in the right glute and our whole left side. Good, Good, and gently relax. Let's go ahead and take the left foot out, squeezing that glute, and bring your knee to elbow. Inhale up and exhale down. Good, nice tight core. Good, last one. And let's take our left foot to the right side of our mat, turn over our right shoulder to gaze at those toes. Feeling that stretch in our right glute and the whole left side. Good, and gently relax. Let's take our knees a little wide here. Sink those hips back into our child's pose and relax our upper body. Very good. Go ahead and relax your forehead right down on your mat. Resting here for just a moment. And gently bringing our hands right beneath our shoulders, pushing up. We'll take both feet to one side, our hips to the other, and come right around. Very good. And let's go ahead and drop one ear to our shoulder. Feel that stretch in the neck. Good, and switch sides. Drop the other ear to the other shoulder. Good, and relax. Let's bring our chin to our chest. If it feels good to rock from side to side, go ahead and do so.